Terry.
Hey, can you articulate this first goal thing and what a difference it's made? And was it a difference tonight at all in team character that's been developing or changing or whatever? And you'd succeeded with the same sort of approach in Bakersfield when it came to starts. Can you articulate bringing it to Edmonton and exactly what you did and what you see?
Yeah. So to the first part of the question, I think it's pretty remarkable that when this year's version of the Edmonton Oilers scores first, the record, I mean, it's remarkable. I don't know if it's a statistical oddity or why that is the case. I would say that when our staff came in about a month ago, we wanted to make it important to start well. We put a premium on starting well. We talk a lot about early urgency, wanting to sink our teeth into the other team immediately, and putting a little bit of onus on personal responsibility for players to find their game within the team right off the bat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay, I would ask that you guys have, your team appears to sort of, I want to say toughen up. Like, we watched the team a lot of the time this year that when, you know, a bad goal went in or you had a bad stretch, it stayed bad. What we see certainly again tonight is you can have a bad couple minutes, but it gets good again. I don't even know what the question there is, but how's that happen?
It's kind of a statement.
It is a statement. Yes, it is a statement.
Well, it wasn't according to script to give up 2 goals in the first few minutes of the third period there. There was some good fortune for the other team off the end wall and all that kind of stuff. But I like what our players were saying on the bench, how they were supporting each other, how their belief system didn't waver. I think when you talk about resiliency, and that is a word we want to describe our team as being a resilient team, what that comes down to is when there's a shock to the system or something bad happens, that you just don't abandon your structure or your way of being. And for our team to maintain our shape and continue to press forward, I thought that was a good sign and bodes well for us going forward.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but it seemed like there was a lot of line tinkering tonight. And can you just explain what went into that and how you were kind of trying to work players in and out of different lines and responsibilities?
Yeah, I didn't think we skated very well in the first period as a group. And so it was just trying to press a few buttons and move some pieces around the chessboard in an effort to try and get some people going. And also I didn't love my deployment of people and spreading the minutes around right off the bat. So we just tried to find a way to find the right combinations in order for us to win the game. That was what was most important.
So how do you decide when you don't like something? You said you're critical of yourself there. When does that realization come in, and how do you go about correcting it as a coach?
I put a lot of emphasis on self-assessment. So usually at TV timeouts, when you get a little bit of a chance to think and to talk to your assistant coaches, and it comes from feel, it comes from experience, and I just didn't love the way we skated collectively, and it was trying to find the right combinations in order for us to win the game. You also have to give the other team credit. They have some good players on that team, and just trying to find the right matchups in order to gain a little bit of an advantage.
Jay, a lot of talk at this time of the year with potential acquisitions, but you guys already had a big addition this season in Evander Kane. Comes through again tonight. Can you talk about his play around the net and how he always seems to find the soft area to score?
Yeah, he's feeling it right now. I think there's a good chemistry with him and Connor. He has found a niche by going to hard areas to score goals. He's also someone who can score from distance, but he doesn't just resort to playing on the outside or the periphery. He goes to hard areas to score. I think it's a good example for our younger players. And we're talking about line combinations a little bit earlier. I thought in the second period, Zach Cassian did something for our team to inject a little bit of emotion into the game. And I know that the bench grew a little bit taller when he did that. And at that point in time, we made the decision to put Cass up with Kane and Connor, and that was an effective unit for us too.
Jay, when the trading deadline's coming, how much discussion is it between the coach and the general manager as to what we possibly can get and what we possibly need? How much?
It's been my experience over my 3 different organizations that there's usually quite a bit of communication at this time of year. There's communication on a daily basis just on the general state of the team, the lineups you're going to ice, who you liked in certain games, who you may not have liked in certain games. And so there's constant communication between our coaching staff and our management group.
Do you suggest people to the general manager who you perhaps have coached before or you say, I kind of like this guy?
The lane that I like to stay in is trying to get the most out of the people that are in front of me. If I'm asked questions, I'm not hesitant in any way to give my opinion. And usually, if that's the case, it's one where I put a lot of thought and work into forming an opinion about either players on our team or players around the league.
Thank you.
Can you speak to what you saw when you were an assistant coach here with Connor and Leon in particular that has evolved and changed to when you're returning as a head coach?
Well, both of those guys were extremely young and finding their footing in the National Hockey League when I first was an assistant coach. They were both dominant players as young players, as we know. Their game has evolved. I said this the other night. I don't think Connor specifically and Leon specifically get enough credit for some of the things they do defensively and how hard they play the game. So I see 2 young men that have physically matured. I think their games have matured, and both of them are driven to be the best they can be. They're driven to be the best players in the world, and most importantly, they're both driven to win.
And can you speak to that's included in there somewhere, I guess, but just how they've really embraced the leadership part of the game? Yeah, I feel good with them on the ice because I see them trying to do things right. Do they make mistakes? Even though they're the top players in the game, they still make mistakes on the ice, but they take ownership of those mistakes. They know when they can be better. They're constantly craving information to help them be the best that they can be. And they're hugely respected not only by the coaching staff here, but also by their teammates. And they are 2 people that are driving us forward. They're supported by some really good leaders in our room as well, guys like Darnell Nurse and some leaders who have gained experience in other organizations, guys like Duncan Keith and Mike Smith and those types. I think where their game is at is in a good spot right now. They're trying to do it right on a night in, night out. If you look at their statistical past, particularly Connor, it seems like their last 25 games, there's an escalation. Do you sense that going on right now?
Well, ever since our staff has been here for the last month or so, I've seen their game take off. And most importantly, the emphasis for our team has been is our work back to our own zone. And I see those 2 players leading the way in that charge. And when they do it, I know it's contagious.
Thank you.
Thanks.